So here are 12 tips on how you can start healing your Hashimoto's. And yes, you can heal your Hashimoto's, you can put it into remission, but you're gonna have to put in the work, you're gonna have to put in the effort, change your lifestyle, change your diet, and I'm gonna give you the 12 things that really helped change how I felt and completely changed my life. So the number one tip I would have to say is get a third opinion on your doctor. So find a doctor that works with you. So for example, it could be a functional doctor, a naturopath doctor, it can be a conventional doctor, but you just need to find someone that will be open-minded and is willing to work alongside with you to find the root causes of your Hashimoto's or your autoimmune condition in general. So the second tip I have for you is to have all your blood work retested. So your thyroid panels, your vitamin deficiencies, just so that you have something like a clean slate with your doctor to go over, just so that you guys can compare your old results. And also with the vitamin deficiencies, Hashimoto's patients usually are deficient in vitamin D, selenium, B12. I will link a resource below so that you can ask your doctor more about those things. So the third tip that I have for you is to get your gut health in check. So you can get this in check by having it tested. I did a GIMAP test, which tests your poop to see if you have any infections, parasites, yeast, everything they can pretty much know from your poop. And I think it's really important to get done or ask your doctor to see if it's something that they feel is necessary for you to get done. If you have leaky gut or any type of gut infection, it could be the root cause of your Hashimoto's or your autoimmune condition. So you have to figure out what triggered your body to get into this state. And I definitely recommend it. I did the test, and that, as you can tell from before, I ended up having a lot of infections in my gut, and I'm so grateful that I was able to figure out which infections I had, so now I'm able to treat them with natural herb antibiotics. Fourth tip is to check your environment. So another root cause of why maybe your Hashimoto's got triggered or an autoimmune condition got triggered is something in your environment. So the chemicals you're being exposed to, so kind of look at your beauty products, your household cleaners, just kind of be more aware of what's around you, because something really small could be causing an irritation and the inflammation in your body. So my fifth tip is to go on a AIP diet, and I know a lot of you don't want to start because it sounds intimidating, difficult, and for those of you that don't know what AIP diet is, it's an autoimmune protocol diet that takes off all the foods that might cause inflammation in your body, that might cause a trigger, a flare-up. So mainly it's kind of like a paleo diet, except you're still taking out seeds, nightshades, soy, dairy, and gluten. So it's a very strict diet. You're mainly going to be eating fruits and vegetables, but you still need to limit your fruit intake, because if you have too much sugar, that can cause a flare-up also. So there is a lot to it. You don't have to go straight into AIP diet mode, but you can start small by maybe like the first month you just cut off gluten, the second month you cut off dairy, the third month soy, and so on, and just so that you can take those baby steps and then wean yourself into a full AIP diet. So once you're in full AIP diet mode, then you have to stick to the AIP diet excuse me, until your symptoms go away. So like for me, the inflammation in my joints, like I was able to think more clearly, And so once I started noticing that the brain fog was gone, my joint pain was gone, my energy was back, then I knew that I could start introducing foods. So it took me about 2 months on AIP, like strict AIP, and then I could start introducing food slowly. I will link below a more detailed resource about AIP and like the baby steps of how to start and how to reintroduce foods. But I definitely recommend it. It's worth a shot because it really changes like how you feel, and I'm an example of that. I feel so much better after doing it. So the 6th tip that I have for you is to get on the right supplements for your body. I'm gonna make a disclosure on this because I don't want to just be like, you should take this supplement or take that supplement. It really depends on your body, what triggers you, what doesn't trigger you, based off of your blood work, like what are you deficient in, what are you not. So it really depends. I will link below the main ones that people are deficient in, like overall Hashimoto's patients. And I will tell you what I am on right now, but I do not recommend that you take what I'm taking because I'm completely different from you in the aspects of what triggered my Hashimoto's. So for me, my trigger was my gut health. I have a lot of infections. I have a parasite, H. pylori, yeast overgrowth, SIBO, and stuff like that. So I have to take certain supplements and herbs, like a herb antibiotics, to recover and heal my gut. So the first thing that I have to take is I take selenium. So this is pretty much recommended for anyone with Hashimoto's, but again, you need to talk to your doctor about how much you need to take and everything like that. Another thing I take, instead of taking a prescription medication for a hormone, I take something called Fem Balance, and this is made at my actual doctor's office from my functional doctor. It's kind of a mix of different vitamins, supplements that help balance my hormones. So I've really seen a difference when I'm taking this. Again, you're gonna have to find out what works for your body. Another thing that I am taking is a prenatal pro vitamin. So this will have basically a multivitamin, but very strong, because I was deficient in a lot of things like iron, my B vitamins, I'm trying to think of some other things, but I've never even really took multivitamins before, and so it was really important to kind of re-nourish my body of the things that I was lacking. So for my gut infections and everything else that I'm taking, I chose to take a holistic route rather than taking antibiotics, because if I would have taken the conventional antibiotics, I would have been killing the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And since I'm doing this herb approach, I'm only going to be attacking the bad bacteria, because I really need that good bacteria to still keep a good healthy gut. So I am taking oil of oregano, and I'm also taking DGL licorice, so it's like a licorice root, and both of those combat the infections that I have, and I have to be on that for 3 months. So again, don't take what I'm taking. Consult your doctor. Our bodies are different, and we might have different root causes of how we got here in the first place. So please check out the link below of the main deficiencies that a lot of Hashimoto's patients have, so that you have an idea of what to ask your doctor when you are with them in the office. So the 7th tip that I have for you guys is to exercise at least 5 days a week. It could be just a 10-minute walk each day, but do a workout that you enjoy, because that's when you'll be more consistent. For me, I really enjoy doing hot yoga. It helps with my joint pain and it helps me build strength. And it also helps with like my anxiety and depression, because after I work out, I feel good and it just releases those endorphins. The 8th tip that I have for you guys is to start journaling daily. So with Hashimoto's, some of the symptoms are depression and anxiety, and when you clear your mind by writing out in your journal every day, it'll help you clear your head, make you feel more at ease and at peace. Another thing that I would definitely recommend is writing things that you're thankful for, or even thinking about that every day. So just showing gratitude will really make a difference in your daily routine. I will link below the journal that I use daily. It's really nice because it has kind of like your daily tasks. It leaves a little spot on the bottom that you need to fill out each day of the things that you're grateful for. And then it makes kind of a priority of the top 3 things that you need to have done, and then kind of like a random little note page where you can just kind of jot down whatever's on your mind. So I will put it below if you guys are interested. The 9th tip that I have for you guys is to reduce stress. It is so important while healing with an autoimmune disorder to reduce stress, because the more stress you have, the more inflammation you will have in your body, and you will trigger those flare-ups and you will feel like crap. So a way to reduce stress is to start meditating. Even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, just sit in silence and just focus on your breath. I know a lot of people think like, oh, when you're meditating, you're not supposed to be thinking about anything else. It's okay if the thoughts come to you, but the main thing is to focus on your breathing and relaxing. And once you do that, then you really reduce the stress in your body and you will see a difference. So just try it for 2 weeks and see how you're feeling. I will link a few guided meditations that I do daily that I really find helpful. I think guided meditations, especially for a beginner, like I consider myself a beginner, I've only been doing it for a few months, but it really helps so you're not just like, oh, what am I doing? Like, I know you're supposed to focus on the breath, but the guided meditation will really relax you and kind of make you focus on the thoughts that they want you to focus on. So I will leave those below for you guys to check out also. So the 10th tip that I have for you guys is to start reading and researching as much as possible. And I'm not saying like research to the point where you're kind of self-diagnosing yourself. I'm saying research so that you know about your condition and you'll be able to ask the doctor the right questions while you're there, instead of kind of being clueless of what's going on in your body. The 11th tip that I have for you guys is to find support. So tell your family, tell your friends what you're going through. That way they can be considerate of your diet and your health changes. I will link below the Facebook group that I'm a part of. I believe it's called Hashimoto's 411, but it's a huge community of women that, and I believe men too, that are going through the same thing that you are, and they'll kind of go into detail of what they're going through. They'll even post like their lab work and they'll be like, what does this mean? Or if they're having a hard time with their doctor, other people will recommend other doctors in their area. So it's just nice to have someone that's going through the same thing as you, so you don't feel like you're going through it alone. The 12th tip I have for you guys is to seek therapy. I know there's such a taboo on therapy because it's like, oh, well, you gotta have all these problems to go and da-da-da-da-da. But there has been research shown that if you don't deal with the traumas or anything else going on in your past, it can affect your health. And I feel like that's very fascinating because I feel like I hold in a lot of things, and holding it in a lot of things can really affect your stress levels, and that stress turns into further illnesses and more inflammation. So I really recommend just talking to someone. It doesn't need to be a therapist. It could be a friend, a family member, just someone you're comfortable with and that you can vent to, just so that you can let it out, and this will be part of the healing process for you to completely heal your Hashimoto's and move on to a happy, healthy life. So like I said, I believe that in order to heal your Hashimoto's, you need to go in a complete full circle of a bunch of things. The first thing is to seek a doctor. Find a doctor that you can have a relationship with, that you're comfortable with, that will work side by side with you in order to find the root cause of your Hashimoto's or your autoimmune condition. The second thing is to change your lifestyle, change your diet, your routine, find a workout that you love, that you enjoy, that way you can reduce the stress in your life. And the next thing is to focus on your daily routine. Make sure that you incorporate journaling, meditating, finding things that reduce your stress. Reducing stress is so important on this journey. The next thing is to seek help. Just let people know, and your family, your friends, what you're going through, because holding this all in won't help that stress or the inflammation in your body. And if you need to go further, then seek a therapist, just so that you have someone to talk to and deal with things that have happened in your past, so that you can move forward and heal. I hope these healing tips help you on your journey to recover. I post new videos every Sunday, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell below. The next video I'll be doing, I will be talking about how I lost 25 pounds with my Hashimoto's condition, and I am so happy and grateful that I am on this journey to heal, and I hope that this really helped you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one. Bye guys.